Again, hello. Welcome to Hatty Waiver Wire Guru. Getting ready to go into week 9. Getting through those bye weeks slowly but surely. This week I've got quarterbacks, running backs, wide receiver, and a tight end for you. And then some results of a contest. But let's get into the quarterbacks first. I don't have any grabs this week. Let's start off with the watches. Troy Smith in San Francisco, I'm watching him. Wasn't really spectacular at all this last weekend, but someone to keep an eye on. You know, I know QBs are come and go a little bit, so just someone to watch. Don't go crazy on that guy. Charlie Whitehurst, he's really interesting. Hasselbeck had a concussion. You know how the NFL is with that, so keep an eye on his status. So Charlie Whitehurst is a watch, but could be a spot starter if Hasselbeck is out next week. Let's go into spot starters. First you have, Jon Kitna. You might ask yourself, why is he even on your spot starters? Well, if you look at his interceptions from this last weekend, a lot of them were bouncing off players' hands, really not attributing to his fault totally at all, and he put up a lot of yards. So I think, he could put up the yards and the touchdowns as he starts to mesh with some of these wide receivers like Des Bryant, so he can see that end zone. So someone to spot start, I think. This guy is hard for me to recommend as a spot starter. I was leaning towards him as a grab, but really when you look at his schedule, Ryan Fitzpatrick, Buffalo, his schedule is going to get tough. The weather is going to get nasty, and they may turn to a younger quarterback like Brom in the future. So, Ryan Fitzpatrick is a spot starter, but definitely not a grab. And then finally, Carey Collins. If Vince Young misses any time, Collins can put it up. He's put up some pretty decent numbers in the past. So you have, a good slew of quarterbacks there, but no one that's just like outstanding. Okay. Moving on to running backs, I do have some grabs. First grab is Katt Williams. Ryan Terrain owners have gotten some really good production out of him. He has an injury. They've got a bye week coming up. So the week after, 2 weeks from now, Terrain heals slowly. So he may rest a week, and you'll see Katt Williams coming in. So if you're a Terrain owner, Katt Williams is the way to go. If you're thin at running back, Katt Williams, pick him up. Next is Blount. I told you about him last week. He was a grab, I think, last week. I started him in a couple leagues. Blount is sharing time with Cadillac. He's the goal line guy as well. He got 2 touchdowns this last weekend and threw up some good yardage. So Blount is definitely a grab. If you didn't grab him last week, well, remember this video, I'm trying to give you stuff, so grab some of these guys. You need to watch Kevin Smith. He's taken some carries away from Javad Best. And the reason he's taking carries away from Best is a smaller, dynamic player. He's a wonderful running back for PPR leagues. But Kevin Smith is getting some work, will continue to get work. He even has good hands. He's played well in the past. So Kevin Smith is somebody, especially for Best owners, to handcuff, or again, if you're really thin at running back. Moving on to spot starters, you got Julius Jones. Chris Ivory got dinged up. Jones looked pretty good. I mean, he looked pretty explosive. PPR leagues, he's going to be good. Pierre Thomas is going to miss more time. So Julius Jones is definitely a spot starter. Moving on to wide receivers, Steve Johnson's a grab. Buffalo, I told you about him last week to keep an eye on him. He's really he does look legitimately good. He just looks like a solid wide receiver and somebody I would probably grab if you have the room. Next, who am I watching? Anthony Armstrong. The reason he's downgraded kind of a watch, he's making these long bomb catches, but McNabb, he got sat for Rex Grossman. I'm sure he's unhappy. So that downgrades Anthony Armstrong's value. Something to keep in mind. Brandon Gibson, St. Louis is looking for that wide receiver 1, Amendola. Another surgery's coming up. I'm frustrated with that. But Amendola has another surgery, and that's just going to be it. So Gibson, opposite of Amendola, Gibson really does make a run for that wide receiver. Why is he at a watch? Steelers wide receivers are kind of driving me nuts. I choose them, they get injured. Mark Clayton, injured. Lauren Robinson in the past, injured. Gibson, look out. I'm out to put the Madden curse on you. Anyways, moving on to other watches, you got James Jones and Jordy Nelson. Donald Driver's knees are just giving out. So I'm watching this situation. I'm going to tell you, I'm leaning towards Jordy Nelson right now. I'm almost leaning towards him as a grab. honestly. He's got 6'4", good hands, lots of opportunity. Jordy Nelson looks pretty good. So, if you're really looking for that deeper play, Jordy Nelson. James Jones, he just drops a ton of crap. So it's just like, come on, dude. Butterfingers. So, he's driving me nuts. So Jordy Nelson, really interesting. Spot starters. Start with Nate Burleson, Detroit. The reason he's one of my spot starters is with Stafford back, he's going to get the looks. Calvin Johnson obviously is kind of going to be that red zone guy, but Burleson for PPR leaguers is not a bad spot starter. TD only leagues, so something to think about. Next spot starter is Nate Washington. Kenny Britt's hamstring injury is pretty bad. He could be out for a while. We'll see how fast he heals. He is rather young, so Kenny Britt could come back sooner or later, but while he's out, the guy is Nate Washington. Whether it's Carey Collins or Vince Young, Washington is one of those guys for spot starting that you're going to want to look towards. And finally at tight ends, I'm going to put him as a grab. I need to see him play. I am putting him in a lot this evening. It's Jacob Tamme, Tamme. Indianapolis Colts tight end. Obviously with Dallas Clark out, I've been grabbing him, and I'm starting him tonight. Hopefully he does well. I think he will. So he's a grab right now, sight unseen. Just go ahead and pick him up. That's it. I want to announce the winner. We had a contest. If you went to the Facebook page, guys, please become a fan of Facebook. There's a lot of reasons why you should be a fan. One, I answer questions on Facebook. There's great dialogue there. Two, you get updates. I'll put player updates there on waiver wires to grab during the week that I'm sure you'll want to know. I talk about contests. We had a contest. I'm giving away a Buffalo Wild Wings chair. Buffalo Wild Wings chair. Okay, it's pretty nice. I'm going to give it away to a guy. I have 174 Facebook fans right now. It's not a whole lot. Just started getting into Facebook fan page this year. But 174. And out of 174 fans, there is a fan named Chris Hatty. Chris Hatty, Hatty. That's crazy. Because his last name's Hatty, and it's just Buck Wild that he's got a kick butt last name, I got to give him the chair. Buck Wild, true story. So I'm going to UPS this. Chris, if you're watching, email me, and I'll get your address. Otherwise, you can email me, and I will answer your questions. People email me all the time. I answer you. I try to answer every single email promptly. It's part of the service, free service. That's Hatty Waiver Wire Guru at hattywaiverwireguru.com. Check out the website, hattywaiverwireguru.com. We have a forum there as well. Join the site, register for the site, totally free. If you're looking for trophies for this year, buy a trophy through the site. If you're looking for extra fancy stuff to do this year, maybe you're like 1-6 for some crazy reason, you want something to do, Fantasy Live. You can compete with me every Sunday. I compete 20-minute intervals. They're real quick, 20 minutes. It's fast-paced. It's fun. You can register. It's all free. I'm there. You can compete against me, and I have a lot of fun. I do it every week. That's it. Good luck with the next week coming up, and let's kick some butt.